It's gonna be our very first episode of Black Sheep Radio, and I'm gonna go over mentally preparing for a competition. I'm gonna hit on, looks like 4 points right here of what's gonna make you successful when you're competing. The very first thing I'm gonna tell you to do is define your purpose. Why are you here? What is making you throw on that singlet, getting on that platform, and lifting in front of a bunch of strangers? If you think about it and you go back to it, when you had this conversation with yourself and you decided to put yourself out there, I want you to think in the very simplest way, why am I here? And for a lot of you, you're beginners. Why you're doing it is because you've never done it before. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to do something so well that you've never done before. You need to create a baseline. It's just like with anything, you gotta try, you gotta see where you fall, and then from there, you build upon that. But other than that, that's really what it is. When you tell yourself that, hey, I'm just here to start, I'm here to set my baseline, you need to own that over and over again. Don't stack things on top of that are gonna make it harder. Own that I'm here to just own the day and have a good time. From there, nothing else matters. If you are a seasoned competitor, you're looking to set yourself to improve. It's very simple. You want to do a little bit better than what you did before, whether it's a better total, a higher number in certain lift, or to maybe advance personally and have a better time doing it and not be so stressed. That's what you need to do for number one. Number two is eliminate negative energy. It sounds very, very simple. Yeah, of course, I don't want to be negative about what I'm doing, but I'm gonna tell you this. As humans, we are just really bad at taking care of ourselves, and we're really bad at doing it mentally as well. We need to eliminate negative energy, negative self-talk. I'm coming in to have a good time. I'm coming in to show everybody what I've been working for, but really, I'm trying to show myself. So whatever happens is gonna happen, but along that, I'm gonna make sure that I'm not gonna put myself in a position to fail mentally before I even get there. Number three, you may be a little bit afraid, of what's gonna happen. You're probably going through, just like in anything, you're going through situations that could go wrong. Best thing for you to do when you're going through fear, and I heard J.M. Blakely talk about this before on his Instagram, is to combat fear with curiosity. Instead of thinking that I need to combat fear with bravery, like being tough and going out there and just being better than whatever's in front of me, I need to combat it with curiosity. So instead of going and thinking about like what could happen, think about what could happen. Like, maybe I'll try and I'll do amazing. Maybe this is the beginning of a long storied career of me doing this for multiple years. Maybe this is going to serve as inspiration to my kids, my son, for me putting myself out there. Like, what positive can come from this, and then chase that feeling instead of what could go wrong and what do I need to do to fight that. Number four, understand that reality is greater than expectations. Reality is just that, it's real. That's a big reason why we pick very, very small openers. We need to feel out the day. We need to get that first lift in, take the mental win, and then decide where we're gonna jump upon there. But what we're doing is we're accepting that our body is gonna give us what it gives us, and it doesn't move in a linear perspective, that sometimes it goes up and down based upon how we feel, the stress, our recovery, all these different things. But we need to understand that the reality is king over everything. So if I'm coming into a meet and I was expecting a 100-pound PR on my total and I'll only get 50, well then that's the reality of the situation, is that's what I get. And I need to understand that that is gonna roll over everything else. My expectations meant nothing. It's just like if you were friends with somebody and you were very, very supportive and you put yourself out there and you were always there to help them, and then they didn't reciprocate it. Is it really their fault that they didn't reciprocate, or is it your fault for expecting them to do something that they're not obligated to do based upon what you do for them? It's the same thing. Your expectations are just shit. The reality is what it is. And once you can accept that, what I put out here is going to be what it's going to be, then it's going to be a lot better situation for you. When it comes down to this, and to close this, because I don't want to make this too long, I feel if I keep this very, very short, then I could reach a lot more people, is that especially in powerlifting, the preparation is tough, and a lot of times the journey itself can be way more trying than the actual destination. But what you need to understand is that in your training time leading up to this, you set the stage for a story. And when you go to that platform, you're actually going to tell that story. You're going to show everyone that story, and you're going to show yourself that story. So if your preparation was met with a lot of obstacles personally, then it's going to be, maybe it's not going to be so much of a show of how much stronger you got number-wise. Maybe it's personal resilience that you built to still perform. Maybe life was really kicking you in the teeth and you had every reason to not do this meet, but you're here on the platform anyways doing it. Then that's a victory in itself. You got to understand that your training leading up to this meet should be a celebration. You should take it as, I got here, here I am, this is my day, and I'm going to show everyone and myself what I'm made of and where I'm going to be continuing this. Make sure that you really hold on to the feeling that I am out here for myself and I am ready to show myself what I can do. Everything else that's going on is just semantics. The day is going to be what it is, and you're going to define it how you want to. But keeping your mental right is everything, because remember, the only person that is going to cause you to lose anything in this is you, and the loss is going to be defined by your perception of how you see it. So if you see it as a W, already stepping on the platform based upon everything that you've gone through in your life and you're still here, then you're going to take a W for the day. But I encourage you to really, really hold on to that and only that, and everything else is just going to be a bonus upon that. I hope this helps. I hope it can resonate with some people, and I hope that for this subject, it is going to help prepare you the day of your meet.